This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It's Basil here, and it's high time we got our hands on with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Given how much we've already seen around this device, half of it's been rumours, but there have been a few leak shots, and we're really pleased to say that that metal frame that we saw is made an appearance in the final release. You can see on the reverse you've got a plastic backing which has a dappled texture. If we talk you around the device, for starters, on the fascia it's a 5.7-inch Quad HD display. You've also got a high-resolution front-facing camera over 3 megapixels. Below the display is a home button with 2 capacitive buttons either side. Bringing it closer into frame, on the right-hand side you can see a power button. There's a really elegant kind of curve in here, which actually feels quite nice when your thumbs rub against the top side of the actual corner of the metal frame. It's a chamfered edging with the S Pen on the bottom right hand side, a micro USB connector. Interestingly, a micro USB 2, not micro USB 3 connector. These 2 dots, they are microphones. This has 3 mics in total for directional recording. On the left hand side, you've got a volume rocker up at the top. On the top of the phone, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, what looks like an infrared blaster, and a little sign saying Qualcomm 4G. We have the Snapdragon 805 version in our hand. Flipping it round, that dappled backing, you've got the speaker on the bottom left-hand corner, the Samsung insignia, and the 16-megapixel rear-facing camera, optically image stabilized no less, heart rate monitor. Nice, the heart rate monitor acts as a capture tool when you're taking a selfie. If we open up the back cover, we can see, first of all, the back cover plastic is quite thin, doesn't add too much thickness to it. You can see the long battery, so it's a different module to its predecessor. It's a few milliamps more, but not a notable amount. You've got a micro SIM card, micro SD card, expandable up to 128 gigabytes. We can close that up now and take a closer look at that screen, because that Quad HD screen is Super AMOLED. It really is eye-popping, especially when you hold it up against its predecessor. In fact, I'm going to rummage around now and find a Samsung Galaxy Note 2 so you can see it really just shines so much brighter. We'll flick it on to full brightness. It's kind of much more reminiscent of the Galaxy Tab S range in terms of its clarity. Putting that to one side, we can also see Samsung's TouchWiz has been updated slightly. It's very similar to what we've seen on the Samsung Galaxy S5. On the left-hand side, you've got My Magazine UX, which we can scroll through right here. Jumping out of that, pull-down notification tray with S Finder and Quick Connect. Also, all your icons, which you can then expand. If we pull down with 2 fingers up, nope, the expanding with 2 fingers seems to have been dropped. We can jump into the settings. We can see very big iconography here. We can jump into individual settings, and we're assuming we can view as tab view as well as you could historically. Jumping out of that, bringing the screen closer into frame, we'll just swipe through the user interface so you can see the transition smoothness and the applications tray separated from the widgets menu. If we pinch, we can see we've got an overview of our home screens, but what's really interesting is how Samsung's oriented the multitasking into this 3-dimensional tab view. We can see that in the top right-hand corner of some of the tabs, you've got multitasking options. That's multi-window. Pulling out of that, we can long press the home button, and we can see that activates Google Now. We could just say, OK Google, from the home screen, in which case it will get exactly what we're saying. And naturally, everything else surrounding Android will work very similarly. On the left-hand side of the home screen, you've got My Magazine UX, like we said, which we can scroll through. And on the main home screen, we can actually switch that off by long pressing a component in the home screen settings, Flipboard briefing. So My Magazine seems to have been dropped or changed. And you can also control your transition effects. If we take a look at the S Pen, that's another area that's really been improved. Instead of the 1024 levels of pressure sensitivity with a Wacom digitizer under there, you now have 2048 levels. You also have 2 new additional pens in S Note, and on top of that, you can see we've got some new options here. In total, you've got Action Memo, Smart Select, Image Clip, and Screen Write. Smart Select will actually let you select an area of the screen, and it will save it as an image that you can then save into a floating repository around which you can drop that image into, well, a lot of applications, including messaging. We can take a look at some of the applications. So you can see you've got all your standard stuff as well as Galaxy apps. We're assuming there will be a range of Galaxy gifts that come along with this. And you can also see a few other apps, but nothing really too crazy. All the stuff we've already seen before, S-Health, etc. Taking a look at the actual pressure sensitivity, we can open up S-Note quickly. And we can see these are predefined notes, which we can preview by pulling down. We can also create a new note. And we can see all our pens. We can see we have a fountain pen and a calligraphy pen. If we jump into the calligraphy pen, or let's just do the fountain pen, we can increase the thickness and you'll be able to see you have slow movements and fast movements. The fast movements will actually create a thinner stroke. It's all really nice and precise. We can pinch in to show you the variance across the stroke right there. And also the opacity changes as well. As you can see where we overlap the pen, it's just much more natural. Samsung's really going for this digital organic. We can close that up and take a look at the camera. 16 megapixel camera. We can see, hey, that's me. We can flip that around and we can open up the settings. Clearly, they're going for a more simplified settings menu. You do have modes, and you can download additional modes. You can take a picture of something that's quite graphic, and we pull that into frame. It will actually convert that picture into an S-Note file. And then we can convert to an editable file, press OK. Take our pen out. It's just taken that picture and we can erase individual lettering and elements, which is super cool. Now, as far as the hardware in here goes, obviously, like we said, that connectivity is tapered when it comes to the physical connections, but inside it's going to be very well connected. LTE, obviously, Cat4 we're assuming. You've also got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 805 with 3 gigabytes of RAM, so it'll be one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful devices of IFA 2014. All that power is going to be needed to power along that Quad HD display. That Quad HD display is being put to really good use. We'll do another video with Samsung Gear VR, which is a virtual reality machine that pairs with this device. All in all, therefore, it's a mammoth hands-on first impression because this is a pretty landmark phone. Packs all the latest stuff, and of course, it is Samsung's new Galaxy Note flagship. If you've got any questions about the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, make sure you fire them in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button